Those weeks where, we've got rain, clouds, sunshine, all of it. But this morning, things are very mild because we've got more clouds in place with scattered storms this afternoon, and temperatures are going to be running below average. So here's what it looks like right now. Overcast in Birmingham. Excuse me. Temperature sits at about 76 degrees. And no rain on radar. We are going to anticipate these afternoon scattered showers and thunderstorms to develop post-lunch. Temperatures right now starting off in the low and mid 70s. And if you want to get some steps in today, you may want to get in and do it early. I mean, even then, we're still going to be dodging some rain at times. We'll talk much more about how these models shake out for the rest of the day coming up next. This area of low pressure is just going to continue its swirl across the state. It's got a hold on our weather pattern for not only the next 24 hours, but maybe the next 48. And that means, we could be picking up quite a bit of rain in the next several days. So starting off this morning, a little bit closer to home, you'll notice showers, thunderstorms blossom as early as 8, 9 o'clock in some spots, and they become a bit more active. There's enough moisture in the air, like Janice mentioned. You're going to feel it today. Overcast sky with, again, rain at times through the afternoon and evening. So really, at any point today, I would have your umbrella handy and keep it with you because you're going to need it over the next couple of days. So heading into the next big thing, which is tomorrow, we'll be dodging some heavier rain at times, some heavy storms, gusty winds. At this time, again, no severe weather expected, but I can't rule out potentially 1 or 2 severe thunderstorm warnings. It does look like the main concern is going to be coming from the potential for some isolated flooding. We could see some heavier downpours through, again, Wednesday night. So yes, where the rain has fallen and you see it for several days on end, that is a bit of a concern because we're talking about 1 to 1.5, upwards of 2 inches of rain locally. So with the ground being saturated, you could always see some localized flooding. Now, here's the deal. I mean, with all the rain through Thursday, look at where temperatures hang out in the mid and upper 80s finally by Thursday. This pattern breaks by Friday into the weekend, and we'll see temperatures go back into the lower 90s. This morning, though, no rain here in Oak Grove. We're just dealing with an overcast sky. Temperature sitting at about 73. We're at 74 in Tuscaloosa, 76 in Birmingham. As you pour your cup of coffee, I would plan for maybe a sprinkle or 2 on the ride into work, but generally, many of you are going to be dry until this afternoon. Highs today back in the mid and upper 80s. So plan accordingly. The heat does crank back up as we head into the end of the week. So enjoy the nice break in the mid 90s, I'd say, for at least the next couple of days. Mid 80s today, tomorrow. Scattered showers, thunderstorms, some heavier pockets of rain, thunder, lightning, the whole shebang. Heading into the weekend, dark and early. But if you do want to spend some time on the lake today, you may want to get it in before lunchtime because we are talking about more rain. There's this large area of low pressure just going to sling moisture across our state, not only today, tomorrow, but Wednesday. But I promise by the time the weekend rolls around, you'll be able to maybe spend some more time on the lake. And if you want to get a car wash done, I would just say probably not this week, maybe Friday night, and then that way you can enjoy it over the course of the weekend. But we do have, again, widespread showers, thunderstorms possible almost each and every single day this week. Well, we're going to see a lot of rain in a short amount of time. So if you have plans between now and Wednesday, the umbrella is going to be very handy. Let's start things out this morning, okay? By 6, 7 o'clock, we could be dealing with some heavier pockets of rain, even that early as showers begin to develop. This area of low pressure just slings and sits moisture right on top of us. You'll notice the general trajectory. It's going to be moving around that area of low pressure with that counterclockwise rotation. Heavier downpours possible, some thunder, some lightning. In fact, we do have a slight risk for some flooding. I would say between now and really Wednesday, the flood threat is elevated. So just keep that in mind. If you live near a creek, stream, river, if you live in a flood prone area, any of these cells that develop between now and Wednesday could cause some flooding issues. Lunchtime tomorrow. Pick out where you live. Heavier pockets of rain possible through the afternoon and evening. So I would say, again, today, tomorrow, Wednesday, maybe even Thursday, not the best day to spend some time outside. By 3 o'clock on Wednesday afternoon, heavier pockets of rain continue. This is going to be beneficial, though, for those of you who have that green thumb. You're going to save on the water bill as Nature's water will be falling from the sky this week. Now listen, over the next 7 days, you're looking at about 1 to 1.5 inches of rain, maybe some localized areas upwards of 2, so that may also be helpful. But the concern is some localized flooding. With all the rain comes a drop in temperatures today, tomorrow, Wednesday, low to mid 80s. And then we do see temperatures climb back into the low 90s by Friday, Saturday, Sunday as the risk for rain goes down. Right now in Oak Grove and Talladega County, temperatures sitting in the 70s. It's an overcast start to the morning. And as you plan the rest of your day, again, after lunchtime, the risk for rain will go up with highs topping out mainly in the mid and potentially some upper 80s in West Alabama. 90s return Friday, Saturday, tomorrow, Wednesday. Those are going to be the days where you're going to see widespread rain at times, heavier downpours likely, and some thunder and some lightning as this area of low pressure just really doesn't have much movement to it. This is 3 o'clock today. So again, it's not going to be raining for everyone all day long at all points of the day. Just plan for scattered storms, and it's going to be a little bit more numerous than it was last week. We're talking 70–80% chance that you will see rain between now and early tomorrow. In fact, here's the deal. There is a slight risk for a flooding threat, meaning level 2 out of 4 for areas along and south of I-20. Downpours likely 1 to 2 inches of rain between now and the next couple of days. This is tomorrow morning. I do think the coverage of rain goes up just ever so slightly on Tuesday. Heavier downpours again. The concern, localized flooding. If you live in a flood-prone area, now is your time to prepare. This is your first alert for the next 3 days. Even by 3 o'clock on Wednesday, you guessed it, more rain and more storms. We'll finally begin to see the risk for rain taper off Thursday into Friday, and that's when temperatures begin to climb. We'll be back in the upper 80s by Thursday and then low 90s over the course of the weekend as the risk for rain becomes fairly isolated. Right now in Birmingham, it's just a thick cloud deck sitting right over top of the city. I mean, it looks pretty cool. Temperature sits at 76 degrees. The air very muggy. And at this hour, First Alert AccuTrack is quiet. Couple showers out towards Sumter County and York, but generally we will see an uptick later this afternoon. Starting off in the 70s, and we'll hang out there through about mid-morning. Later this afternoon, as the rain risk goes up, temperatures hold in the mid-80s. We've got 86 degrees today, and that's going to be conditional, depending on if the rain is happening right at 3 o'clock, 2 or 3 o'clock, the peak heating of the day. That could absolutely mitigate how warm we do get. Tomorrow, with that small uptick in showers, we hang out near 84, and then over the course of Central and North Alabama, a big area of low pressure are going to keep us fairly wet over the next couple of days. And so if you've got plans maybe to get out and about, you need your First Alert weather app with you. Right now in Lake Tuscaloosa, temperature sits at 74. Look, very overcast sky. We'll call for a mostly cloudy sky today. If you do have plans to get out on the lake, I'd say after lunchtime, we're going to be talking about some widespread scattered showers and thunderstorms, some of which could be on the heavier side. Temperatures will be holding in the 80s throughout the day. Now, if you want to, I mean, this is not the best week, but if you did, here's you got a look at your car wash. I mean, really, between now and Friday, I would just say maybe hold off until the weekend. That way you can enjoy it. Saturday, Sunday, risk for rain becomes fairly isolated, and so that will be the better day to maybe get your car washed. But as that area of low pressure swirls across the deep south, we're going to be talking about heavier pockets of rain, some thunder, some lightning, and the possibility of some localized flooding issues. In fact, the flood threat today, marginal to slight, levels 1 and 2. So again, if you live in a flood prone area, if you live near a creek, stream, river that typically rises between now and really Wednesday, it's important to have your First Alert weather app with you in case anything like a flood warning is issued. By the time tomorrow morning rolls around, here we go again. It's going to be a similar day, but I do think that the coverage of rain tomorrow goes up just ever so slightly. Some heavier downpours. This is going to be tropical moisture just pouring in. And yeah, it's going to be fairly heavy at times. Heading into Wednesday, we'll do it all over again, rinse and repeat. While the coverage is not as intense on Wednesday, still going to be dealing with rain as we have picked up potentially 1 to 2+ inches in some spots locally. Now, I will say that yes, these are going to be scattered in nature. So For the next 3 days, you're not going to be under a torrential downpour. It's going to come in waves. So I would plan ahead and start thinking about, okay, if I got to go from here to here with the heavier rain in pockets, I'm going to need my umbrella. But the good thing is I guess with the rain comes a drop in temperatures. Between now and really Thursday, we're going to be in the mid and upper 80s. Once the risk for rain goes down, meaning we see more isolated showers, temperatures will go back up. Between the weekend, we're back in the lower 90s and almost right where we should be for this time of year. So as you get out the door, get your morning started in Tuscaloosa. Temperatures are in the mid 70s, the sky overcast with a quiet scan on radar. We're looking at numbers mainly in the low and mid 70s across the state. Temperatures today touching right around 84 to about 86 degrees with an increase of storm coverage during the afternoon and evening. We finally get to right where average sits on Friday at 91, and then we're still looking at rain around, so it's going to be fairly impactful this week. And for right now, we're still calling just for more downpours at times. It's tropical moisture slinging in from the Gulf, not much movement. So the concern comes later this afternoon and evening, where these cells can sit for quite some time and you can get some localized flooding. Now, it's not going to be a complete washout between now and really the end of the week, but it is going to be one of those weeks where you need the umbrella at least at some point throughout the week. The flood threat today generally along and south of 20. That's that level 2 out of level 5. But again, you can't rule out a stronger downpour north of the interstate. Tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock, still looking at some heavier pockets of rain. I think tomorrow afternoon, actually going to fuel a little bit more with the coverage of showers and thunderstorms. Tomorrow, maybe the day where you kind of just want to hang inside and chill out. Wednesday afternoon, widely scattered showers and thunderstorms. I'm telling you, this pattern doesn't change much through at least Thursday. By the time Friday gets here, we'll see a drop in the rain and temperatures begin their trend up. We're looking at probably 1 to 2 inches of rain over the next 7 days. And like I mentioned, that drop in rain coverage will come with an increase in numbers. We'll be back in the lower 90s and near average by Friday and through the weekend. Right now in Sumiton, just cloudy at this hour. Most of you dry as can be. We got a couple showers just outside of Demopolis, but very light in general. Low to mid 70s to get things going. And if you want to walk your dog today, here is your first alert for muddy paws. We're going to be talking about widespread rain again. Scattered storms expected, keeping temperatures in the mid 80s. So you're going to have to wipe the paws off before they come indoors. We're talking muddiness over the next couple of days. Heading into the weekend, listen, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, risk for rain.